So I'm David Bagley. I'm the Executive Director of the Willapa Grace Harbor Oyster Growers Association. And today we're at Jolly Roger's processing plant on Willapa Bay in Ocean, Nakata, or Washington.
Can you tell us what is behind us?
We're standing in front of a large shell pile that's been washed. This shell pile is all recycled and reused to be planted out in the bay for more baby oyster propagation.
My name's Charlie Skillings. I'm the manager here at Jolly Roger Oyster. We'll start at the beginning of the process. The process starts on our dock where the oysters are offloaded. We shovel them into square bins. We refer to them as tubs. There's approximately 30 to 40 bushels per tub that are shoveled at a time, and we'll bring those tubs in on an I-beam, run down on a trolley, and we have bins that we refer to as hoppers. Each hopper will hold up to 200 bushels, and we have four hoppers, so that's 800 bushels altogether. And as we're bringing them in, since we're in Vibrio months, Vibrio being a bacteria in the oyster, we have to ice. So we're bringing in probably 6 tubs of oyster and probably 2 tubs of ice. And there's just as much ice in the bins as oysters, so it's a good process. That's how we keep everything cold. Everything has to be on the table under 45 degrees.
So once it's in the hopper, what happens next?
It goes in and they shuck them. And that's where the oyster shuckers actually take a knife and open every oyster by hand. They get paid by the oyster, which is 3.5 cents an oyster. They put them in 2-gallon buckets and they open into colanders.
And from there, what happens when they're in the 2-gallon containers?
They will take their bucket after they reach the 2-gallon marker and walk it up to our window where our grading room is. And our grading room will either process the oyster through our washer, or it'll go into a 5-gallon bucket and be iced and refrigerated instantly. Once it's in the grading room, it'll go onto the table. We use probably anywhere from 3 to 4 containers at any given time on our table. Each container that we use takes its own size oyster and amount of oyster per jar. We do probably, I'd say 50% of what we're doing right now is going to Hong Kong. So we're seaming a lot of cans that go over there. We do a run to SeaTac every week, which is Mondays, and that's when the majority of what we're shucking and processing is Mondays to SeaTac. And once it gets to SeaTac, we have a freight forwarder, and they direct all of our freight to where it needs to be.